Miyen joins me live from the Lekki Toll Plaza, where he's been monitoring development for hours now. Miyen, from your vantage position, what can you see?
Well, Nifemi, I must admit that the 20th of October, the year 2020, will be a day that will remain fresh in the minds of Nigerians and the world at large. This is also a fact that indeed remains contentious, no doubt. I've been here at the Lekki toll gate over what happened at about 115 days ago, monitoring developments in the past 4 hours. I can confirm that there is heavy security at the Lekki toll gate. Not to also forget that it is the right of every citizen to protest peacefully. And according to the Commissioner of Police, who also declined to talk to us on camera, he says what they are doing is to ensure that there is peace in the state. But I've also been able, to talk to residents and people who work in Lekki, and they have a negative, they are worried about the negative impact this protest may have. But then the eyes of the world will be on the Lekki toll precisely between now and the next 10 hours to know if this protest will hold, and also how security operatives will also handle the situation, not interfering with the fundamental human rights of the citizens.
Indeed, Miyen, you mentioned that the police commissioner declined an interview. What more do you know about the rule of engagement of the police in keeping peace and order tomorrow?
Well, we must take note of the fact that it is also the responsibility of the government to ensure that there is peace, in the state. And as it were, what I've seen in Lekki shows that the Nigerian police force are trying to ensure that should the protests go ahead between now and the next 10 hours or thereabouts, Lagos remains peaceful. But we should also note that there have been warnings. If you also take a look at what the Lagos State Governor, has come up with in recent time, that we should not have gatherings of more than 50 people. So we'll be monitoring all these developments and see if this protest will indeed go ahead.
Quickly, tell us how Lekki residents are reacting to this development.
Well, I've actually been to some places around Lekki, the markets not too far away from the toll gates. At the moment, I can say people are having some form of buying and selling. I didn't notice too much of panic because from those that I spoke with, they were against any form of protest, noting the negative impact it's had the last time out on the economy and also how it affected, people who could move from the island and also to the mainland. And that's a major worry for people at this point in time. And they are saying they don't want the protest to hold. But you can also see behind me, there is free flow of traffic at the moment. Lekki is peaceful, I must admit. But what will the next 10 hours or thereabouts look like? That's the question everyone will indeed be asking, and to get answers definitely on TVC News. We will be monitoring developments till the early hours of the morning, where we will indeed hope to see what will happen between the early hours of 4, 5, 6 and 7 a.m. where we'll be back with the news to indeed give details of what must have happened and transpired at the toll in Lekki.